Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the awesome, the fantastic, the stupendous, big medieval tavern build. Check it out. What a project. It's coming right along, and I've got a lot done in the meantime, but it's time to boot up the computer and camera and get started. So let's keep going, all right? So first things first, I wanted to show you my awesome little glow squid pond. Check that out. Now you'll notice there were some glow squids here in here earlier, but they keep dying on the stairs. So this is an awesome little trick. The way you do it is, if you'll notice here, it is actually two sets of underwater waterlogged stairs. Now this technique is being learned and used by a lot of people, so you've probably seen it already, but if you haven't, that's a cool trick of something you can do if you want a very narrow water channel. So I thought it looked pretty cool. They look kind of glow squiddy, so I popped some glow squids in there, and they've died. So no worries, we'll get more, but it's all good. Let's move on. This is a technique I'm going to be using in the build once we start working on a little mini library, which I think will also be a good spot to put our enchanting spot. And this looks like a really cool floor pattern I discovered as I was playing around with barrels. I've seen it somewhere else before. I had forgot about it, and now I've got it back. So this might be a really cool place to put somewhere. Purely decorational. I mean, I guess you could, sneak secret stuff underneath the floor. But yeah, it's inverted barrels. So that should be really cool. Ta-da. And also, as a design technique, barrels also make for very good siding. Doing stuff like this, very cool. If you need something like bound up, kind of like iron bound. So I can definitely see how there'll be some places later where that's going to look really, really cool. But the biggest thing I wanted to show you is right over there. But before we get to that, let's do a quick preview of what's gone on since the last video. Now, when I was goofing around the other night, once again, just like after the first video, I started goofing around here and there, and I started playing with some stuff. I got super inspired, so instead of booting up the camera, I quickly just whipped it all together, and it's definitely going to get adjusted in today's episode, but for right now, I think it works pretty good, so I like how it's looking. We have a nice little pumpkin storage area here. Useful? Not really useful, but definitely pretty and decorative. You can use fence gates instead of fences, and they mix right up with the stone walls, so that makes for a good transition. Switching these out for fence also works, but it looks a little bit strange. So maybe not the best thing, but fence gates work pretty good. Obviously, you can put sea pickles on top of pumpkins, look for a very fancy stem. That technique's all over the Minecraft YouTube community at this point, so you've probably seen it. If you haven't, you learned it here. So awesome. Let's move on. Big things I've changed is this. I have added this in, and I've now moved it over to here. This chiseled, I don't know, inverted iron anvil look. This is actually the design for the original ironwood setup. I'm not entirely sure how to explain it, but basically this was supposed to be an anvil. And so when I first made up the idea for the Ironwood Village, series scenario that I was gonna plan out for you guys, this was supposed to be the symbol for it, and it was supposed to be this sort of like this. I don't know. It's almost a little bit Greeky looking. It's kind of like a giant eye, something like that. The letter I. It's supposed to be a giant iron anvil. I was going to make it out of the polished blackstone. So it's supposed to look real pretty like that. So this is kind of a cool callback that it's kind of woven into the tavern design. So that's kind of cool. I thought it was fun. And it looks nice. I messed around with the bushes again. I don't know. I think it was getting a little bit too leafy, and I do want leafiness. It's supposed to definitely feel leafy, but once I started putting 4, 4, 4 all the way around, it was getting so leafy that I was like, let's just switch them down to double, leaf enclosures. I don't know how to call this. Planters, double planters instead of quadruple planters. And I also stuffed this in here. The original ones are like here, and I gotta fix these. The original ones were like this, and they were flipped up like that. Now we're doing stuff like this. So should work better that way. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oops, fix that real quick. And oops, sorry. Fix. And what was the other thing I did? Oh, right, it was put down a line of slabs. Like that. And that. Excellent. Just a second. All right, let's see. Okay, excellent. Let's keep moving. All right, so all done. Phase 1 was done. Phase 2 is done. Phase 3 is starting up. Phase 3 is going to be the big tower. Now, this is going to be the most important part of the build. Why? Because it's the operations center. It's the spine that connects the two sides together seamlessly, fingers crossed. It's also going to be where the library is going to be. I think I need to discuss that because I have some ideas. It's not completely set in stone yet. Lol, stone. There we go. It's not completely set in stone yet, but I am definitely adapting this design. Now, the original tower was supposed to be basically a smaller version of mythical sausages. I'm never gonna get that right. Mythical sausages. Original tower setup, and so I think it looks great. It works really well, but it was really, I don't know, ad-libbed, if that's a good word to use. It was really random in how I set it up last time, and I've already made some massive improvements to the original design. If you can just see if the original tavern, and I'm going to take it and put them side by side just so you can see. I think that'd be awesome. Just put them right by each other so you can see before and after. But that second tavern, it's already infinitely better. It makes so much more sense. This original one was a smaller version of the mythical sausages one. He had tons of space. Like I said, his tavern was like the size of an ocean liner. Way too big to be functional. Way too big to build. And even if you did build it, there's really no point in decorating the inside because it was like a palace. It was enormous. And so this was supposed to be my attempt at a realistic, comfortable tavern thing. And I switched out for a whole bunch of stone because I thought stone would be a lot easier to get, and it's still great. I would still say this is technically a perfect tavern for me. It's so cool. It doubles as a survival house. It's great. But it could use polish. It could use a little bit more of this and that. And just noticing small things like this. The job board is centered here. Yay! But that means there's no window there. Well, it doesn't need a window, right? Well, if you did put a little polish into it, put a little window, you just see it from here. Just looking at the tavern from here, all the curves and edges blend together. You just look at that. And so as you get closer and closer, the illusion starts to fade. But you still have a window. And you can put anything down here. You can put flowers, you can put hay bales, you can put anything down there. You get that window and then the job board. You don't need a job board that's that big. You could have it that big, but you don't need it that big. So why have it that big? Why not have it smaller? Well, now it's even, so that's kind of lame. But if you really think about it, it's not that bad, right? Because it's smaller, it's more compact. It fits in better. It doesn't dominate the whole wall. Look, the job board is going to be from here to here, and this is the job board wall. That's all it's good for, is the giant job board wall. And so I'm trying to create multiple layers, and that's, like I said at the beginning of the first episode, this is all about layering. I want to have lots and lots of opportunities to cast shadows. I have lots and lots of opportunities to just make it kind of blend and feel good together. Different colors, mixing it in. You notice how the white's being used, the stone's being used, multiple colors, multiple feeling. It's not just all tan and brown and gray. Brown and gray, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, this is a perfect tavern. It's awesome. But it really feels like a test, an opportunity, a try. It doesn't feel perfect. It feels great, but just not perfect. And it's already, as I was building up that other tavern, I was jumping between the two, I was just thinking again and again, you know what? I love this original tavern. It was awesome. I even built it brick by brick in one of the servers I played on, and it was great. It was a great server. A great server, great tavern. I loved it. It's just not that. It's just not the same thing. It's just not the same. So little stuff like this, because it was a shrunken down version where Mythical Sausage had tons of space to make this type of window look awesome and huge, well, I have to kind of stuff it in there and try to find some way to still stuff it in there and still make it work. And over here, where the Mythical Sausage had tons of room to make this large window, huge boxes, vines sprawling all over the balcony. Well, I got to make it fit in here, so I've got barely any room, and I try my best, but it just doesn't really cut it. Well, I've got room now. I've got room, a new design, a new rethink. So this is kind of me branching away. This is in between Mythical Sausages and my build. And where his is a lot more like this one, mine's a lot more like my own thing now. There's definitely a little bit of a vibe, but it's kind of mine now, and I kind of like that. And the reason I'm mentioning all this is because, well, it all comes down to the tower, because that tower is awesome. It stands up there tall and proud, looking awesome, looking cool, but there's so much about it that is chaotic and crazy. And you can actually kind of even tell a little bit where the Mythical Sausages influence was, because if you think about it, if you look at this tower, it looks a little noisy. it looks a little bit like it's kind of smallish. Like it's like, well, no, that's big tower. But then you look at it, it's like, why exactly does he have a like leaves right there? And why is there like this little window thing that doesn't really go anywhere? And what's this supposed to be? Like the longer you look at it, the more strange it looks. And the reason for that is because Mythical Sausage had a giant tower. So when he said, I think I'm just gonna shove a little balcony, mini balcony right there, well, it was a giant mini balcony, and it made sense. It looked like it was a thing, a whole deck and stuff. When he did this like line business with the trunks, well, he never intended for people to build it, so he wasn't really thinking about, you know, the the survival aspect of it. And so it looks great. And the thing I like most about it is for sure this roof. Now, when I got this roof done, I patted myself on the back. I couldn't believe I had actually accomplished it. It actually looks great, and I can't do roofs to save my life. So to have a curved turret like this looked great. I was happy, pretty pleased as punch, tickled pink, every word in the book. So I want to do this top. I want to fix this bottom, and I need to massively redo this bottom, this basement first floor level lobby. But I also want to throw in a place for a little mini stable. Doesn't have to be on this side at all. I want to throw in a workshop area. I want to throw in a library. And all of that has to fit in and around this. Because the original tavern the original tavern design has been changed, something like this could work, but because everything's kind of twisted around, I don't want to copy this. I want to improve it. So the reason I bring that all up is because I'm about to make a massive decision. And it's something I don't usually do with my builds, to go from one block type to another. But this is all woody. Wood this, wood that, wood. I like wood. However, stone is kind of easier to gather. Some people argue with that, like, no, stone this, stone that. Well, look at this is what I say. You can get a cobblestone generating machine, and you can get an infinite lava source. You can get a lava, stack. Just find some stalactites. You can make yourself a lava farm. Minecraft has changed. Stone and cut stone is way easier to get than wood. Unless you have like a bone meal farm and you're cool with making a bunch of logs and just like setting them up and doing this tree farm business. Unless you have an auto tree farm, and that's complicated. You probably have a lot more rock than you have wood. So this is what I'm doing. Bum bum bum. Taking the mini pillar design, mixing it with that whole idea of layering, I came up with this. There was a thick, thinner, thinnest feel going on with this whole build. Well, I just turned it into a tiny, kind of not that thick, teeny weeny, semi small, super duper thin glass alternate back out. This whole thing takes place in 1-2 layers. The inside layer is optional. So we have a 2-layer wall that is this detailed. Check that out. Think about it. That's wall, just straight up wall. This is 1 layer, 2 layers. Within 2 layers, you can have all that detail. I was very proud of myself when I came up with this last night, and yes, I did come up with this myself. I do think it's been done to death and elsewhere, probably someone's personal style and all that business. I might have even seen it in a YouTube video at some point. But as I was working on it the other night, I don't know, I was tired, I just had a moment of inspiration. I started clicking this, clicking that. I said, I really, 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 really want to work with that wall design. I love that idea of mini pillars. How do I cover them up? And at first, I was just going to do bing, bang, boom, and say, oh, there we go. That looks really nice. And hey, to be fair, it does look really nice. That looks really nice too. Actually, that looks really nice. Let me think. Ooh. Let me quick pause to the video. Very cool. Very cool. Maybe in some other situation, but here I've got what I like, and I know what I like, and I want what I want. So, bam. This tower is going to be adapted as we shove it in there. But if you think it looks great on the outside, check out what it looks like on the inside. Look at this. Ooh. Just look at that. And this is how it all started. I started by working with the inside and then copied it on the outside. So like I said, this whole inside is optional. Actually, maybe that's where we should do this. Just a second. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe for one wall, like if we had something important right over there, like the Enchanting Room, and you come in through this door, and this is what you see, and you can look left, you can look right. Or even if you did, and you did it on this side and this side. So you come in looking at that, and then you look left, you look right. I don't know. Basically we have options. We have options. I was so stoked the other night when I came up with this. I was like, you know what? This is a really sleek looking, comfortable, very medieval design. I was thinking, you know what? This is not that hard. There's nothing special about this other than the texture, the texture pack on the window, and the Optifine just cleaning everything up. That's technically, there's nothing special about this. You could build this on your world, survival, just straight up normal Minecraft. That's just some logs, that's just some whatever. That looks sleek. I mean, look at that cobblestone and everything. I was like, you know what? That is really medieval. I was just really happy about it. I was just like, oh, I like that. Bang, bang, boom. Pat myself on the back. So anyways, boom, boom. This tower is awesome. This is what I want to do. I'm going to start using wall a lot more often now, I think. I'm hooked. I'm just hooked. And it's just awesome. Why am I not using this up here? Well, I thought it was a little bit overkill. I could do it. Definitely, absolutely could do it. I might even put, let me try real quick. Let me just try what fence looks like. I don't think I'm going to be doing fence up in here. But just a quick check. Let's see. Can you see that? It feels like a little bit, I like the idea of layers still, but that feels like a little bit noisy. Because you see the way the shadows work? I don't know if I like that quite right. It doesn't look, it looks like they're stuck on or glued on. They don't quite look right. This, on the other hand, is a possibility. I kind of like the leaf baskets around the upper wall. But here, well, let's just check real quick to see what it looks like with this. If I was to pretend that these are fake leaf holders like that, it's covering up some of the wall, so it's making the tower not feel as towerish. But I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? You like that? And then maybe we just switch this out for either a trapdoor or stair. Like that. No, I don't know. I don't think I like that transition, though. I don't know. I don't think I want to do it. That's really cool. That's really cool. This is slight possibility. I don't know. Because that's messing up the arches now. Nah, let's forget that for now. This is a thought. This is an interesting thought. I don't like this. This is way too something. Well, it makes the top feel like such a big flat slab of wood. I don't know. The last one had sharp tapered corners, and I like that. Makes it feel a lot more rustic. Actually, where am I looking at? Oh, maybe this is what I was looking at. Well, I guess that kind of got a similar vibe, but it does kind of like wrap around the middle wall, so let's take a look. 'Cause I do like these. Those fence gates are really, what's the word, paying dividends? I don't know. That makes it look way too strong. Maybe if it was one level higher. If it was one level higher, that might work. That the whole wall was just one level up. Because the tower is so squat right now. Because this is what's going to happen is that big top is going to be on top of that, right? So imagine it. And then down here will be the tower, and then down here will be the next floor, which will be essentially the second floor. This is going to bleed right into the second floor. So this whole area is going to have to be modified to fit with it, which means the roof is probably going to come up to about here, which means that tower probably does need to get taller. But we can't do anything until we get it shoved into spot. So basically, that's what we're doing today. We're shoving this into that, and then we're figuring out how the bottom is going to work, and then we're going to have to make sure that roof perfectly blends into it. And once we know how tall it needs to be, bare minimum, and I want this to be only slightly taller than that roof. It shouldn't be towering too high. There's going to be a balcony, but it's not going to be a ridiculous balcony, because basically this thing's problem was it was so tall that up there practically became its own room. And in the original Mythical Sausages one, it was its own room. I had like a whole secret Assassin's Creed style hideout in the top of the tower just because of how ridiculously large it was. I mean, like I said, it was like a palace. So now I had to do this because I noticed it was too small for me to fit anything in there, but it was too big to excuse or to ignore. So I kind of tried my best to just kind of make it decorative, and there's really nothing in here. It's like, okay, so this is awesome. What's it for? Exactly. There's not really anything. It's just what it is. I do like this idea of like this little road thing here. But this tower, there's a new tower, going with the same idea of the tavern bottom, we might end up. Well, I take that back. We are going to have a different feel to the top area of the tower, but we're not going to know how big it can be until we know how much space we have to work with. And we're not going to know that until we shove that into that. So, without further ado, let's start taking measurements. Boom, 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 boom. Play the theme music. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so we're going to have to line this up very, very carefully. Now, the fact that this is that, oh, I almost forgot. Greenhouse. This is what I have turned this room into for now. And hey, very pretty. I like the paintings on the wall, like the etching, like the I don't know, the colors. It's not very warm in here, and that's actually something that I'm going to bring up in just a second. I don't think I want a greenhouse anymore. It kind of doesn't make sense on several levels. The reason I suggested a greenhouse is because I like the idea of an indoor garden, because I also like the idea of not having to leave your house and be able to do all of your farming. Kind of the idea of safety and all that business. But A, that's not how it was done in medieval ages. You had a farm outside, so we probably should have a farm outside. And B, it's not that light in here. It's like, oh yeah, well that's just because you have to put lanterns in here. Well, then it's gonna be lanterns in here. Like, I mean, this is brown stained glass, really. What it is, it's not normal glass. It's brown stained glass. And so when you think about it, well, it doesn't really make sense. It's like, it's like this is just about the maximum brightness it's going to get here on a sunny day versus, wow, look how beautiful this is. Look how bright and sunny. Oh no, I forgot. I have vines now. So yeah, there's vines. Behold the vines. But yeah, look how beautiful it is. It's so glorious. Oh yeah, it's so bright out here. It's so pretty. Versus this. So which one, I ask you, is the real greenhouse? So with that in mind, I mean, I don't want to take over my balcony and turn this, it's supposed to be a romantic love seat sitting area where you kind of chat with your friends and stuff, another kind of sitting zone, tavern zone. Well, I don't want to turn it into a farm, and even if I did, there wouldn't be that much room. It'd be purely decorational again, because this is purely decorational. I'd have no room for a fountain on the balcony. I barely have room for a fountain or anything like that, or even waterworks or something like that. In here, I do like the plants coming down from the top. That's kind of cool. But that's pretty much the only cool thing in here. I mean, the layering's great. It's a good room. It's a good room, but what's it for? It's for a greenhouse. Really? Okay. It doesn't really feel like a greenhouse, right? So I'm going to do some major modifications on this. I already have a whole bunch of ideas about how I'm going to do that. But in the meantime, we got to fix this. It's not going to work. I think our best bet is to create an outdoor greenhouse. And it's going to have to be out here somewhere, which, funnily enough, just happens to be a location that would work with that. Trouble is, the sun's pointing that way, which means in your build, the sun's not going to be on this side. Because, granted, you'd have to be using my texture pack. By the way, that's the Lunar texture pack. Don't forget. Work in progress. Don't forget. And you would have to be using this beautiful Optifine. What's it called? I forget what the Optifine's called. I'm going to have to track that down, the exact name, so I can give it to you. But basically, this side is not going to get that sunny. You can already see it's getting kind of sunny, but it's got to get really sunny. It's got to get majorly bright sunny. It has to get like that bright sunny or more. Well, here's got space, but we can't modify this. No. So here's got space, but what about the tower? That's a good question. What about the tower? What's to keep the tower from having an extension that leads out here and a second balcony that comes about, yay, about this far out, yay, about this high off the ground? Maybe it's elevated or something similar. Has another one of those um, lattices above us, lattice roofs over it, so the light can come streaming in on a beautiful day. And it's totally greenhousey, and it's going to be like an elevated farm, and it's going to be built off the main thing. And I have no idea what that's going to even look like. But behold, that's kind of this thought. Because you see that windmill? Originally, the windmill was supposed to signify that this was a survival house, and it was supposed to be the farm side of things. And there's supposed to be the stable, and I would build all my farms out away from that windmill, kind of like, oh, look, it's doing the grain and all that business. It's like, oh, okay, okay, very, very cool, very cool. Yeah, but so, anyways, I'm not feeling it. But at the same time, I think a greenhouse outside makes a lot more sense, and we're going to need to do that. And glass will not work. It won't. It just won't. We can try glass like this, that type of greenhouse. But the fact of the matter is, they didn't have A, medieval greenhouses that look like this, and B, that looks like a cage. And yes, I am still in the process of possibly getting rid of this. I kind of like the idea of this style. Yeah, but, I mean, it's a, what? You like this? I mean, I kind of do, kind of don't. I mean, it has its uses. I mean, kind of an armored, barred-looking window design. Yeah, okay. I mean, I get that. Yeah, but, this is so much more medieval and more realistic and more accurate and blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. So part of, basically, I'm not sure. I might be switching out this for normal glass, but even if I did, the kind of glass that default Minecraft has isn't useful for what I'm using it for. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So, I think this terraced idea for a greenhouse is way better. But look how big it is. And that's as much, and it doesn't have that much space on it. And that's already how big it is. So where am I going to put it? Here? Then where do I put my pumpkin patch? And I love my pumpkin patch. But if it's not there, then it's got to be here. And if it's here, along this line, like right from here to here, well, I guess that could work, but it's not a lot of room. But it would look really nice when it's all nice and bushy. So, again, the tower. I can't build a greenhouse until I get him popped onto him. And that's going to be a process because here we go. Let's try it. It's not friendly. And the reason I stopped last night is specifically because of how unfriendly shoving this into that is and is going to continue to be. Now, I'm okay with air pockets or, well, safety. I mean, we don't want monsters spawning inside the walls. But do we want, since this is no longer a greenhouse, do we even want this arch? I kind of like it. It's pretty. It's cool. It also means that the tower has got to be about yay level so that that wall can seamlessly blend into this wall, which means the entire wall has to go, which means you'll be walking out into this, which means two sides are going to be two corners are going to be windows, and then this corner is going to be nothing. Oh man, because I really like this design. It's so cool and pretty. And oh, is it really so hard for it to be this is the tower? The tower top just goes right up there, and that starts its process up here? Because if it did that, why then we could have the best of both worlds. And then this tower top would be way up here. Isn't that gonna be a little bit high? I don't know. Is it? So, we're going to try this. Let's do it. Boom. No more joking. No more being silly. This is actually happening. We're going to do it. Ah! Here we go. Discomfort streamer. Boom. First one. Boing. Zip. Second one. Oh, actually, let's be careful about this. Pop. Second one. Bing. And then we need to copy right from here for a reason I'm going to explain to you in a second. Right there. Perfect. Copy. Boink. Zzz. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Which means it's going to be like that, which means it's going to be like that, which means it's going to have the wall right there, which means right there. Based. Chun, chun, chun. Now look at that. Uh, what do you think? It's starting to turn into a wizard's tower. It's a little big. And eh, just here, trying to do a little kind of, imagine, if you will, a side by side. We've got that, and we've got this. Which one looks more rustic? And which one looks more Wizard's Tower? You remember when I said in the second video, oh, this one's going to be way bigger than the original? I'm wondering if I should just embrace that and just say, yep, it's going to be bigger. Yep, let's do it. Knock yourself out. It's going to be a really big build. Because this is why I see it. That's all spruce and stone. There's andesite in there, but, that's very buildable. That's not that hard. Spruce trees, you got some bone meal, you're going to have spruce, until it's coming out of your ears. So that's not that hard to build. Brown glass, okay, fine, you're going to need to get some cocoa beans, but, whatever, you can get some cocoa beans. But other than that, yeah, it's not that bad, So if it's going to be like that, is this okay? Is this okay? Is this actually cool? Are we doing this? Is this acceptable? Because if this is acceptable, that puts an entire new spin on the tower. It's starting to turn the tower into a massive defensible position, a fortress. You would be up here and you could look it down in the tavern, down in the tavern, down in the tavern, secret exit to get to the roof so you can jump off Assassin's Creed style, boom, boom, boom. Check it out. This is a massive, awesome building, and now you have a feeling of height to go up the windows. That's cool. But are we really doing this, though? Are we really doing this, though? Look at that monster. It's huge, which means now I'm going to have to rethink how I do that other business with the tower. Because, once again, the mythical sausage did it this way. So he had this outside balcony area, which I thought was super cool because balconies rule. And, hey, how's it going? And I was thinking, oh, it'd be great because you think, oh, I'm up here, I can't get down. And it's like, well, wait a minute, actually, you can get down. Well, wait a minute, now what? Well, maybe I can run over here, and there's hay bales and water, and whee! And then you can have a secret exit and stuff. Like, that's cool. Or you can start a parkour course, and you jump off the roof, and you're right next to some trees, and you start your parkour course. Like, it's cool to be up that high. There's things you can do with that. Having a way to get even higher, to go all the way to the roof, kind of makes sense and is so cool feeling. Jumping higher and higher and getting higher and higher and all that business. It makes sense. I like this roof. But this is Mythical Sausage's roof. Should I do my own roof? But if I do my own roof, well, his had all these pillars that, locked into place and worked into the build and stuff. And it was all cool and all fit and it was all detailed. And but don't forget, I was saying, it's kind of messy too. His was so big and he had so much to work with. Meanwhile, this is my sloppy redesign attempting to shrink his design. So, should I try to make the tower look like this? Should I keep my awesome roof that I'm so proud of? Big thoughts. So anyways, that's what I've been wrestling with all day yesterday. And I almost, and you notice I didn't release a video yesterday because I was like, you know what? I need to think about this, and I had work to do, and I had a lot of stuff that I had to work with. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Because here's a wall, and that's kind of where a good wall ending goes. But it's not big enough. So honestly, I have no idea what to do with this thing. It's a monster. It's huge. I like it that this is lined in up with that, but everything else about this thing is getting progressively harder and harder to control, manage, whatever word you want to insert there. Should this thing be moved over by one to dig it further into this roof so that this wall is lined up with this wall? Should I do that? Move the whole thing over by one? Well, if I do that, then everything's getting closer, and that raises the question again, am I doing this? Is that really what I'm doing? Because now this tower is centered over this. So that works great. But it's kind of big. It's kind of enormous. So what's it going to be? Because I could also have, I guess I could also have a side door that comes in here that's kind of cool. to be in the tower. I also want to feel like there's a real transition that you're actually getting into the tower. But man, that thing's huge. And I don't want, more than anything, I don't want that tavern to feel like it's been squished together. And if you think about it, look at that little thing down there, and you look at that massive thing up there. Because that all is going to be brick. This is going to be like solid brick in here. This whole area starts to feel dwarfed, and that starts to feel massive and mighty. Maybe a little too massive and mighty. I don't know. I just don't know. There was another option I toyed with back, yesterday, and it was to take the top and flip them. So that's the top and that's the bottom. But if I do that, well, then there's no way to get out into the balcony. But there'd also not be any balcony. So are we not having a balcony then? This is the top of the tower. That's the middle of the tower. That's extended to reach down further into the build. If that's going on, then we have different problems. So basically, I wanted to release this video, and it's probably going to be a shorter video. Well, shorter, my videos. But it's probably going to be a shorter video because right now I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm like working it out in my head. Man, I just don't know. The build is stopped. The build has stopped until I can find some way to make it work. And I really, really, really don't want to have to completely copy that tower design because it didn't work great. The inside was a problem. It was heavy on the resources, especially the wood. This is awesome, but man, I don't know. Just don't know. I will say one thing though. Something I want to change over here, just test with real quick. Let's grab some wall, and I want to see what this looks like. Actually, maybe not even test it on it, test it nearby. Well, I could test it on it. Here we go. What happens if you do that? Just that. You see how just that little change already is making a big difference. It's just so different now. The gray versus the oak. So if it looked like that, now we're getting to my new theory. The idea of having detailed sidelines and all that. Big and little. And see, I kind of like that a little bit better. Just a little bit better than what it was originally. Just a little bit. It makes it look more sturdy. I'll say that. Well, man, look at that. It's massive. Well, you know what? Maybe it's not as massive as I think. Let me go over here real quick. Let me look at perspective. You know what? Maybe it's because that tower sticks out. It sticks out further. That other tower was built into it a lot deeper. Because yeah, here let's just take a quick look. Because you know what? I might be thinking this all wrong. Oops. Let's do bang, go up, 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 up. Well, actually, here, let's do this. Boom. Zzz. Time to do a measurement. How tall is this thing? Like for reals though, how tall is it? We're roughly about there. Position 2, copy. 38 blocks. All right. So from ground level, zzz, 1, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. And we have to imagine the tower is going to be yay about here-ish. Copy. Oh. It's like, that's much better. 48 blocks. We're not that much taller, actually. That's weird. Why does it look so much bigger? It's because it's woven in. This one's woven in, that one's not. That's gotta be it. I don't know. I like it. I like that look so much. But how can I weave this thing in there and still make it work? Because now we're talking, you know what? You know what? I think I can do it. Because you know what? If it's not actually bleeding into that because it's not at the same level, then there's really nothing keeping me from just pushing it over, pushing it over, pushing it over a little bit more. Because as long as this layer, because this is the outer wall, as long as the outer wall, let me think. All right. As long as this wall, let's just move it. Let's just move it real quick just to see what it's gonna look. You know, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? Well here, well, let's do it this way, the proper way. Proper. Let's do it proper. Boop. What's a pod? Pod. Zip. And we're gonna let's try to shove it in. Let's say two blocks. Move two. Now that would mean that that is his maximum. Still a little bit overpowering. This is all going to be mixed in, which means, of course, if he was just one block more, then he would seamlessly match it. There's your profile. Man, what an upgrade. That thing's nuts. It's huge. But if it's moved in, it's not really a problem, is it? Because this would lead up to, this would end up here. It just needs to be moved one more space. That would just fix everything, right? All right, let's try it. Undo, pop. Move 3. And now, he's there. He's already starting to fit in. Boom. And that. So no more of those pillars, which is nice because it means less wood. But at the same time, is that okay? Is that looking all right? And then this side is where we start getting creative. Trouble is, now we're talking that. Which means I might have to redesign this. Which means my pumpkins, no! No! Oh, the pain, the agony. But I cannot argue with that. That does look awesome. Oh, screenshot. I can't argue with it. It looks great. Yeah. I might just have to redesign the whole back to accommodate it. Just, you know, this is how it's going to be. Figure it out. But boy, that really hurts a build. It hurts a build so much when you say, this is what it's going to be, and everything has to find some way to conform. Because, hey, when you take out a chisel and say, don't worry about it, chisel, hammer, I'll make the stone fit, you can do anything you want with a piece of rock. You can make it look like anything. You can make it look like a fork if you wanted to. But in Minecraft, you're limited. So you really, it's like building with Legos. You really need to know what you have access to because you don't have access to everything. You can't do anything you want in Minecraft with the tools you have. You have to find a way to break the rules and bring out something nice. And that's what I've been doing with like the pillars and and stuff to add detail that I guarantee the original developers never imagined is what the game would be played like. Man, oh man. All right, well, then it's settled. I'm going to work on, because I want to give you guys content. Oh, hey, there you go. See, walls are awesome. Walls are the best. You got to start using walls, friends. You just got to start using walls. They're the best. They look awesome. Perfect. Nice. All right, I'm working on the tower top. I don't care anymore. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. It really can't be any shorter than this because I mean this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean that's the perfect even number. That's kind of what looks nice. Hey, what about fence? The problem is solved. Behold. Read it and weep. Ooh, but not for all of it though, right? You know what? Maybe for all of it. You know what? I'm gonna have to check this past my my beta testers, my my gang. But definitely, you need to let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you like this? Do you not like this? This is your opportunity to say so. Should it be better with stair tops? Upside down stairs like this, every other one like that? Or is it better like this, where they're all like that? Personally, I'm kind of leaning towards that. But tentatively, that's what it is. You let me know if you want me to have it somewhere else, some other way. But yeah, very nice. Let's try signs. Grab the signs. Seize the signs. Not bad. It works. Yeah, I like it. It smoothens it. It smoothens it out. Smoothens it out. It doesn't make it so, I don't know, chunky. All right, real quick, let me go down here because I think there was another place that could probably use it. I did this. Maybe I should just do that. I kind of like the buttons. The buttons kind of break it up. Do it. All right, now we're going to need logs. We had signs. This and brick. No. Oak planks. And beehives. I shouldn't need my tools just yet. So let's go oak planks. Those are slabs. All right, fine. I'll just stop. Yeah, I don't have to. I can be lazy. There we go. I like being lazy. All right, up we go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. That's right, the leaves. And they could go right there. Because I love the green. That's a really big thing. The tavern is supposed to be green. Lots of green. And that was totally a cool part of the build right there. But, counterpoint, shrink the whole thing in by 1, which makes the inner part even smaller than it was already, which is kind of lame. But, let's not be greedy. Let's try this out. Wait, what the world is that? Oh, Here we go. There we go. And yes, I know, balcony, all that business. I just don't think we're going to be able to have a balcony. It's just not feasible. It's not transferable. Okay. So how is this tower going to look? This tower top. Juicy. Look at that. Be perfectly honest, it could probably only be its own thing on the ground. I don't know. Should we start a whole new build? The garden tower, the fancy wizard's tower. It does look nice. So we're going to have to alternate quickly. Oh, no. Not again. If there was a time that needed single, you know what I'm talking about. If it needed single windows, single wide windows, now is the time. I have to put my foot down. This is ridiculous. We cannot have double wide. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, pff. Never mind. You didn't see anything. You didn't even wake up today. It's fake. This world, it's fake. You don't even know what's going on. What are you talking about? I'm not talking about anything. All right, let's go. Ta-da! Okay. Already vibes. Man, I wish they had They had walls made of wood, like wall wood. It's like, you mean fences? No, wall wood. Like it looks the same. It operates the same, but it's just wrapped oak. So you do that, but it's oak. That would be so cool. I'm not entirely sure how you'd build it though. You'd have to have like polished wood. Hey. Ooh. Boom, boom. Let's make it look a little squat. I'm not sure if we want that. But what's it going to be like on the inside? Because if we're on the inside, we're looking out. I mean, now we're talking a very tight quarters room with potentially a water elevator or a ladder to get you up in here. But once you get up in here, what's the point? If you're up here, it's going to be just as dark as before. There's no way I can put a balcony out here. I mean, that's getting ridiculous. And another thing had a balcony at this level. This was the balcony level. Oh, hello. Here's the back. It's about Actually, how is that 41 blocks? I mean, because actually, yeah, the original tower was this. This for the balcony. Is the whole thing like lower to the ground? No, that can't be right. And then from here to here was supposed to be the main tower bit, so that this was supposed to be your balcony, an easy jump. You're not putting a balcony out of this. You jump out of there, you kill yourself. So, yeah. What to do? What to do? But if it's going to be all the way around, I'm not sure if I even want it all the way around. No, but it's got to have a balcony. Maybe that's it. It's going to have a balcony, just not the kind you think of. Maybe it's going to be like a tiny balcony, like a little mini balcony right here. Like that. All right, here we go. I want to be careful. I don't want to get rid of anything expensive and valuable. All right. Copy. Rotate. Oh, drat. 1, 2, 3. Based. Yeah. Yeah. Hey! My brain. Edit that out. All right. Lovely. Beautiful. Becoming. And man, that thing's high. Look at that. Oh, man. But it looks so cool. And it's so tall. I mean, good gravy. I mean, are we even still talking about a tavern at this point? I mean, although if you think about it in Minecraft logic, Steve is yay high. And you could say that the tavern was built on like an old castle or something that was like retrofitted or whatever. Because this feels way too small for this. I mean, it's not quite a palace, but boy, that tower. I mean, it's pretty, but good gravy. All right, let's do the next step. Pop and pop. Boo doo doo. Do 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 do. Excellent. So lovely. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's beautiful. So it's going to have to be a small balcony. I hate small balconies. I mean, I guess it doesn't need a balcony, but let's see. I mean, if it doesn't have a balcony, I mean, it's just that. There's nothing wrong with that. And actually, to be perfectly honest, that's not even all that bad. And I could make it a window. It could be a window balcony and not even a balcony. Just a big open window with wide open shutters. So if I did, I mean, which way should it face? I mean, should it face this way so that there's something to look at over here? That'd be like, oh, look, that's the... But it kind of makes sense that it'd be out this way. Because if this thing is in your village, then you'd want this to be the part where everyone sees, which means it's also one that's facing the village, which means you look out and see everything. So it kind of makes sense that it'd be right here. So let's open this up. So this is where it's going to be. And we go beep, beep, bing. And we don't have that, because this is going to be the window thing. And how are we going to do this? Let's do trapdoors. 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 Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know about that. this is going to have to go bang, bang, that. Okay, now that's looking a little bit big. Just saying, it looks a little big. But if that's big, hmm. It would be a great place to jump out with your Elytra. Come over here, be like, oh, here, even better. Goodbye, my brothers. Whoa! And then it closes behind you. Awesome. All right, maybe it's not so bad. It is big, but maybe it's not a problem. It could just be made to be a little bit smaller, a little bit more narrow. Let's try slabs. If it's going to be a slab, then how am I going to be getting up here? And why not cobblestone? Like, can you guys actually give me a good reason not to make this cobblestone? Set cobblestone. So this is like the Elytra place. We call it the Eyrie. And that's the way you get up from by a ladder. It's not even available. I couldn't even do that. So we'd have to find some way to get you to go up into there. Man, that thing's big. It's huge. It's just so big. I don't even know what to do with that room. But it looks nice. Okay, so we're going to have to make, we're going to have to cut this short. Boom, boom, because that's just getting ridiculous. And then boom, boom. Ooh, just a second. Ah, that kind of gives it a little bit of definition. Let's try that. Bang, oops. Bada bop, boom, pow. I hope you guys like my cat noises. Make hisses every now and then. Do we like that? Let's go over here. Yeah, actually that's not so bad. I kind of like that idea. There we go. Pop. 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 There we go. Looking good, looking dandy. It still doesn't look right. It feels like it's just squished right into that. This is what I'm doing it for. This view. I mean, I guess I could put the whole thing down by one. So then this would be coming up to here. Probably wouldn't notice too much of a difference. This would end up like here-ish. That could work. Let's bring the whole thing down by one. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. It's gonna happen. It's okay. So, pop. Let's see what happens when I do this. Position 2. Alright, fingers crossed this doesn't mess everything up. Move 1. I come downstairs and everything is wrecked. What the what? I said move 1! Oh my goodness. It was 1. Why does it look so dramatic? It's like it cut right into the thing. Okay. I'm kind of liking that a little bit more. It makes the windows feel like they're more woven in. All right, now let's look inside and survey the damage. Is that okay? Is that acceptable? That can be fixed. That's okay. That can be fixed. It's all decorative. Okay, I think that's fine. I think we're good. That's all decorative, so we can fix that. So, moving it in by 1, not so bad. So, get rid of that. Boom. Move this over. Boom, boom. Move this over. Boom. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. The whole reason I had it there was because it was in line. But if it's okay at this level, why can't we move the whole thing a little bit more forward? Because if it's built a little bit more forward, then there and there almost brings it into line. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Oh, look, it's almost in line. Maybe it's even better then. Okay, it'd still be a bit narrow, but that'd be hilarious if that actually worked. Huh. Okay, well, let's think about it. If I did that and the whole thing moved forward by 1, that means this would be cut in a little bit further, but that's okay because then all of this would get trimmed up. That would get trimmed up. This is going to get trimmed up because this is going to get covered by that. So then that is going to be what's happened. You're not even going to see that. Pop, pop. You won't even know it's there. All right, let's do it. Good grief. This would be hilarious if this actually works and this just solved the whole problem. Because then that would give me just enough room. Oops. That would give me just enough room to... Give me just enough room to slide in the what's it called? I want to say balcony. The little gardens on the side. And that, well, we're still going to have to figure out what to do about this, though. I will say that. We're not out of the woods yet, because we still have to figure out what to do, what on earth to do with it coming that far over. Although, I will say this, though. I love the 2 windows right there, and I love my pumpkin farm. But to be perfectly honest, we're getting rapidly reaching the point where we just have the wool start right here. And it's like, yeah, no biggie. Just forget the window. Leave the window. Get rid of the window. And you can just put something there. But I like that. It was so pretty with the windows. But alright, it's okay. It's fine. Hey, but who knows? Double windows, and then maybe that would give me just enough space to turn this into single windows. Ha! Yeah, there's a thought. Alright. Now let's see. Let's see. It's moved up a little bit. I don't know. That might work. And if that works, then we're back on schedule. And we just solved the problem. Look at that. And then on this side, clean it up, clean it up. We're working on that. We're working on that. It's going to be this, 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 this. Like that. You can kind of see the sculpture within coming out. Oh, that could be a slight problem. Sculpture within. I'll work on that later. All right. I want to be very careful that this build does not look good from just one angle, because that would be terrible. But anyways, and this room, still don't know what to do with it. I like the idea of a wee way for a elytra, or even, well, it'd be kind of a, especially if you're coming in hot, it'd be like wee. Oh, sorry, excuse me. All right, you'd be coming in hot. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that. There's a very high risk of, instant death trying to, in a 1 block space. You have to line it straight up and like. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You could knock yourself onto that fence gate too. So you literally have to come in. You have to come in perfect. Okay, so basically, you can't do that. Um, so you just got to land on the ground, climb the tower, and jump out. So it's not like you can just have this little landing pad. Although it would be really cool to have a funnel system where you land at the top of the tower, dump off all your stuff, it all goes down and sorts itself into your barrels, and you just jump back out of the tower and go back to mining. That would be cool. Who knows? I might be able to rig something like that up. All right, let's do the roof. Now the roof, I am going to try to copy as much as possible because I love my roof. It's a good roof. It's my roof, and I want it. I like it. Boom. And boom. And I do like how it goes with all those upside down stairs. Who knows? Maybe I can work with that. We'll see. Right. Like that. We're good. And then I go straight up. Position 2. And we want to figure this out with, let's try that. So now we're talking about this is going to be the far edge of it. Okay. I mean, that works. Copy. I don't even know what this thing is going to look like yet, so let's just try and find out. What's it going to look like? I mean, are we way out? Is this ridiculous? Is it not enough? Paste. And the verdict is way too much on that side. But actually, funnily enough, that's, well, oh, because that's lame because on this side, it's perfect. I like that, how it kind of, well, I mean, here's what it would look like with a 1 block overhang. That kind of seems a little bit too capish. This goes right up to it. I might have to shrink the whole thing. But boy, that's not so bad. Look at that. And boy, that flag flies high now. Look at that. So basically, this thing isn't a bigger build. It's a taller build. This thing's wider by a bunch. But this thing's taller by a ton. Okay, maybe this one's just bigger all over. But boy, yeah, look at that. It's a glorious tower. Hey, if you ever build this in your survival world or on a server, it's going to be something to look at, that's for sure. If, of course, you have the Optifine and the Luna texture pack. Link in the description. Actually, I take that back. There's no link in the description. I'm still working on it. All right. Coming soon, as they say. All right, well, let's fix this up. Undo. And then let's try again as I cook my feet. It's very good to cook feet. You should cook feet. Very relaxing. Well, a bit capish, but you know, not terrible. That's okay. And actually, that amount of shadow kind of makes, you can kind of see this like unearthly glow on the inside. That's kind of cool. I kind of like the glow. Okay, that's not bad. That's a nice tavern look. I mean, can we even call it a tavern at this point? It's like a survival house. It's an adventurer's guild hall. Should I just change it? No longer medieval tavern, medieval guild hall. And we'll have like a treasure room and stuff and a vault. And it's like, yeah, this is totally a guild hall. It's not a tavern anymore. This is where the adventurers hang out. And so it kind of functions as a tavern, but this is totally a guild hall, my dude. Like, I don't know. But that's a good question. What do I do about that? I mean, I guess I can just cover them up. If you don't like looking at it, cover it up. Okay. I mean, technically, that kind of just solves the problem. I mean, duh. There it is. Yeah. And I get to keep my beautiful roof, and I don't have to remake it, and it still looks classy. Actually, you know what? That overhang actually isn't all that bad. I don't know if it's historically accurate by a long shot, but this one with that overhang balcony versus that, I don't know. Maybe it was better. Maybe it was better the new way. The old way. Because the old balcony, because on mythical sausages, his balcony was huge. So it's like, oh well, you've got room to kingdom come. What are you worried about? Stop griping. But my balcony was just trying to imitate his on a smaller scale, and yeah, sure enough, it's tiny and it doesn't really feel like it's much of anything. It's purely decorative, and it doesn't even have room for seats and stuff. So it's not like it's even cool decorative. It's just there. But the new one, very wizard towery. I'm just saying, look at that. This is gonna be a nightmare to teach you guys how to build. Like do a let's build. It's gonna be like what, an hour long? Although I am trying to figure out how to use the let's play or replay mod. And once I can learn how to use replay mod, I'm just gonna zoom in there and it's gonna be awesome and blah 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 blah. And so it'll be classic and classy and awesome and usual stuff. All right, well, I like this. I like this so much. I think I can delete this. I think the time has come to delete the prototype and just here we go. I mean, it's in. And I'll work on all that, but at this point, I like this enough that if I have to redesign the whole back to accept it, then I just have to because, I mean, we got to have this. It's perfect. All right. Man, look at that. Look at it go. And just the right amount of green, too. It's not too green. That was another thing I was worried about if it got too green. Go. I don't know. I'm starting to fall in love with it. I like it. All right, so what's it look like on the inside? Ooh. Well, this leafy stuff is definitely going to have to be moved around a bit. The chandelier probably doesn't need to come down that low. And lanterns might not be a bad idea. We can work on decorating the inside later. We need to focus on building the outside back. But I don't know. Is this a good place to stop the video? I don't know how long I've been talking. I don't want this video to be too long because yeah, everyone's complaining. Like all my beta testers are saying, this is kind of a long video. I'm like, yeah. So I don't want to mess you guys up too much. It's pretty though. It looks like it could be one of those Minecraft magazines. Oh, this is so cool. I like it. Hey, it's the texture pack. It's the shaders. Credits where credits due. That it's what's doing the brunt of the work. But I do think I've added a little bit of a spin to it. Look at that. I'm gonna have to change it out the flag though. Red and yellow is fine, but I have ideas for a better flag color and design. My poor pumpkin patch. Okay, whatever. Anyways, bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Blah, 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 blah. Usual business. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Don't forget to tell your friends. You already forgot, didn't you? I knew you did. I knew you forgot. So I'm going to remind you again. Hey. Seizure. Don't forget to tell your friends. Like and subscribe. And yeah, I'm throwing myself in whole hog, as it were. I'm going to try to see if I can beat this thing out. And as soon as it's finished, I might, maybe after supper again, I think I might do a little bit of tweaking here and there. But once it's finished, I'm going to make a how-to video explaining to you in detail how to build this thing. If you want to build it with me, follow me along on my journey. No guarantee it's going to stay that way at the end. So I would definitely, absolutely guarantee, pressure you, if it were, as it were, to do this in a template world first, so that you're not wasting time gathering a bunch of resources and stuff. But actually, if you are joining me and following me, and you have your own world and you're building this in your world, you can start gathering resources. You're gonna need a metric ton of bone meal to make all those bone blocks. But if you've got a mob farm, then that's no problem, is it? And if you have a spruce, if that same bone meal, if you got all that bone meal, then you're not going to have to worry about all the spruce. You make a tree farm because, hey, spruce grows. You make super trees. And other than that, it's just a bunch of stone bricks. So, actually, this is a lot easier to make than the other one. The other one was logs, and tons of logs. In fact, Mythical Sausage's first one, all that oak was shaved oak logs. So, yeah, basically, it was ridiculous. That's why I built this one in the first place, was specifically because of that. I said, you know what? You got to be nuts. It looks great, But you expect me to carve out all these trees? And what happens if some bozo lights a match? Because they do. And yeah, that's not going to happen. So I switched it out for oak planks, and now a decent amount of it is not even burnable. So, take that, griefers. But yeah, I like it. It's ridiculous. It's huge. But yeah, I mean, you can't say that's not a improved, modernized, super version of the old one. And man, it looks nice. I think it's pretty. So, anyways, thank you all for coming. Like and subscribe. Say hi to your friends. I'm off to get some supper. And so I'll see you guys all in the next video. Next time, the tower had a part 1 and a part 2. And next time is tower part 2, the base. I don't even know how we're going to make that base. But good luck. I'll see you around. Have a good time. Bye-bye.